What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into the Jets Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, it's a fun one for you guys. We are going to be going over every single QB target for the New York Jets heading into the 2025 NFL season with a lot of question marks around Aaron Rodgers. If he'll be QB1 next season, I wanted to give you guys some alternate options for this next season for our New York Jets. But before we dive into it, a little prediction time for you guys. Who do you think, not who you want to be the starting quarterback for New York next season, who do you think is the starting quarterback for the New York Jets? You guys comment your thoughts down below in the comments section. Very, very curious to see what you guys have to say. All right, let's dive into the first one here. Probably the biggest name free agent out there, and that's going to be Sam Darnold. Now, Sam Darnold had a fantastic season for the Minnesota Vikings. There's no doubt about it. Mainly in the first 16 games. He was top 5 in almost every statistical category, but then we saw the last 2 games against the Lions, against the Rams in the playoffs. He struggled, but the thing is with Darnold right now, he's a big risk, big reward type of quarterback where he will try to take the top off the defense, and sometimes it will result in some big-time plays for the offense, but it will also result into some negative plays. And CBS put out their contract projections for each quarterback, and for Sam Darnold, they had him re-signing with the Minnesota Vikings on a 3-year, $114 million deal. Now, keep in mind, they put this out here before the Rams game. I think I would be very shocked if Darnold got this deal, especially with the Minnesota Vikings, and all the reports and everything we're hearing out of Minnesota is suggesting that the Vikings will move on to J.J. McCarthy, allowing Sam Darnold to walk. But could you imagine if Sam Darnold reunited in New York with the Jets? I don't think it has much possibility, but he is by far the best free agent quarterback out there, a boom or bust type of player, and that's the number 1 free agent target right now at the quarterback position for all NFL teams. But number 2, we got a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. We're actually going to talk about both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. But first off, with Russell Wilson, age 36, he had an okay year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Definitely fizzled out during the last 5 weeks where the Steelers went 0-5 in that stretch. But CBS, and again, this was before the playoff game versus the Baltimore Ravens, had Russell Wilson signing a 2-year, $50 million deal with the Steelers. If that's the contract that Russell Wilson is supposed to get, and I'm the New York Jets, I am not taking that. I would rather go a cheaper bridge guy and then draft a quarterback, which we'll also talk about 5 QBs the Jets could get out of the draft coming up here. But Russ, he's a fine quarterback at this point. Is he a needle mover? Is he going to get you over the hump? Probably not. But again, it's another option out there. But honestly, if I had to pick a Steelers quarterback for the Jets, it wouldn't be their starter. It'd actually be their backup, Justin Fields, who started off the season playing a fun brand of football. And that's what Justin Fields is. He plays a fun brand of football. He's a walking highlight reel. But his concerns come from within the pocket. Can he win from within the pocket? That is yet to be seen in his NFL playing career. He struggles with some, accuracy issues, throughout the course of his NFL career so far. But he is 25 years old. But CBS projected him to go to the Las Vegas Raiders on a 1-year, $11 million deal. Now, if I'm the New York Jets, and let's just say you do move off from Aaron Rodgers, and you're trying to find that young bridge quarterback in free agency, Justin Fields is not a bad option because you can just look at what the Vikings did last season. Signed Sam Darnold for a 1-year, $10 million deal. He played the best ball of his career, and yeah, he fizzled out at the end. But now they also have their young quarterback in J.J. McCarthy waiting in the reins, and I could see the Jets taking the Vikings route on that, where you get a bridge quarterback on a cheap 1-year deal. Hopefully he lives up to what he was supposed to be coming out of the draft, and then you just have that next quarterback start the next season. And I still think it is so valuable to have a young rookie quarterback sit behind somebody for a year. I mean, just take the Packers, for example. Even Patrick Mahomes sat for a year. So Justin Fields, I would like it. Out of all those free agent targets, I would choose JF1 for the New York Jets. But let's talk about some QB targets that could get cut. And the first one we're going to talk about is Kirk Cousins. Kirk had a bad year with Atlanta. Just call it like it is. And it's so funny how the season went. He actually started off, throwing the ball over the field. He was putting up a ton of yards. He was a very efficient quarterback for Atlanta. But then after that bye week, he was terrible, and he ended up getting benched for Michael Penix. Now, I think Kirk is going to be in a very similar situation that Russell Wilson was with the Broncos last year, where they're going to cut him, but then they're going to pay all of that salary, and then allows Kirk to go sign with another team for a very cheap deal. And CBS had that other team being the Cleveland Browns on a 1-year, $2 million deal. He has a connection with Kevin Stefanski, so I really think that has a good chance of happening. But for the Jets, I would like it. I wouldn't love it. Again, it's a low-risk move, but also it doesn't really have too much of a high reward. I will say Kirk would be a good mentor for a younger quarterback. He knows the ins and outs of the leagues. He knows what it takes to be a professional. So I wouldn't mind Kirk as that bridge guy, especially if it's on that deal, 1 year, $2 million contract. But a guy who's in a similar position with or as Kirk Cousins, but definitely a better quarterback at this point, and that's Derek Carr with the New Orleans Saints. So actually sneakily had a good season. Maybe saying, why would the Saints cut him? Well, the Saints, they have been in cap hell for the last 3 seasons, and they would actually save $30 million if they cut him post June 1st, which, you can cut him before free agency and just designate it as a June or a post June 1st cut, but it would give them $21.4 million in dead cap. But where did CBS have Derek Carr going? Actually, the Indianapolis Colts on a 1-year, $15 million deal. Now, if it's between Kirk at $2 million or Derek Carr at $15 million, I would take the chance on Derek Carr because he's just a significantly better quarterback, at least last season, what we've seen from Kirk compared to Carr. So I would love Derek Carr. I would love Justin Fields to be that bridge guy, be that mentor for a younger quarterback. But again, there is no quarterback you're going to sign in free agency or if they are cut that is going to completely be a needle mover for this Jets team. But it's a big decision that this Jets front office is making. What is your confidence level in the Jets front office, mainly Woody Johnson right now with still a GM yet to be signed? But you guys scale it for me 1 to 10 down below in the comment section. What is your confidence level in the New York Jets making the right moves this offseason? All right, let's dive into 5 quarterbacks that the Jets could draft this season. Now, the first one, in my opinion, is the best quarterback in this year's draft, and that's going to be Cam Ward from the University of Miami, who is 22 years old. Now, some advanced passing stats for Ward. He is a big play quarterback. That's why his big-time throw percentage is at 5.7, but he also does have some turnover issues, 3.1 turnover-worthy play percentage this past season. Adjusted completion percentage was at 76.3. His ADOT 9.8, so he does push the ball down the field. But we can even go deeper on this because 20-plus air yards, he's completing 16.5% of his throws, and he completes 45.3% of those, and he had 14 touchdowns to just 0 interceptions. And if you guys see, 26 big-time throws and 4 turnover-worthy plays on 20-plus air yard throws. So that's fantastic for Ward. He does struggle on the intermediate routes, 10 to 19 air yards, 77 of 114. Very efficient in terms of completing those passes. But again, 2 big-time throws, 5 turnover-worthy plays from that spot. But behind the line of scrimmage, he's got a quicker release. So if you want to run like a quick game, gimmicky type of offense, Cam Ward can excel at that spot. But number 2, second-best quarterback coming out this season, how about a little Shedeur Sanders? Now, I think Shedeur has a slight chance to maybe fall to pick 7. It would honestly come down to what the Giants are doing at pick number 3 and what the Las Vegas Raiders are doing at pick number 6. But Shedeur, he's a polarizing prospect. Obviously, his dad being Dion, he knows what it takes to, obviously play in the National Football League. But, my pro comp for him is similar to a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, maybe a little Geno Smith in his game. But, I don't really think Shedeur is a first-round talent. I just mainly think people are so desperate for a quarterback nowadays is a big reason why they could swing a move for him. But, Shedeur over the last 2 seasons, he's just been consistent at that spot for the Colorado Buffaloes here. I mean, you see it from 2023. He has gotten better in terms of completion percentage. Quarterback rating went up a little bit, but 27 touchdowns in each of the seasons, going over 3,200 yards in each of those years as well. I just don't really see the upside with Shedeur. He's an okay option, but again, I wouldn't love it. The Jets would have to trade up for him, but he is by far the second best quarterback in this year's class. Now, a guy who I think is going to really rise on draft boards after his pro day, we're going to go Jaxson Dart on this. Played his collegiate football at Ole Miss. But Jaxson Dart, big-time arm, doesn't really have too much a good feel in a pocket, but this could be a guy you take in the 2nd or the 3rd round and just take a chance on him. But talking about taking a chance on a guy, how about Jalen Milroe? 22 years old. I wouldn't draft this guy. I don't think he has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. Can't win in the pocket. And we know all the jokes about, Lamar Jackson should have shifted the running back. The joke should be about Jalen Milroe shifting the running back. I just don't think he can win in the pocket, so I'd be probably out on him. And now a guy who, coming into the year, he was supposed to be a first-round pick. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. He's got a lot of talent, but this year has definitely not gone the way that Quinn Ewers would have expected, but this would be a guy, I don't know where he would go in the draft, whether that's day 2 or day 3, but I would be fine with taking a flyer on him. Maybe you can't get a Cam Ward or a Shedeur Sanders, and you get that bridge guy, then you bring Quinn to be that young quarterback, develop in the system. I wouldn't hate that, whatsoever. But out of all those guys we talked about, I think we talked about is about 12 on today's show. Who do you want as the Jets quarterback next season? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Very curious to see what you guys got to say. And also, if you guys aren't subscribed yet to the Jets Report, go down there, hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Going to be a busy offseason. Head coach, GM, quarterback talks. So hit that sub button. See you guys next time. Go Jets.